Ready.
It's 9:30, whenever you're ready.
Now, right. Go.
Would you like to call the meeting to order?
Okay, yeah, so I now call the January 8th, 2026 San Diego Air Pollution Control District Hearing Board meeting to order. It's 9:30 a.m. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Vice Chair Spencer. Before I call the roll, I would like to note for the record that Chair Schlick will not be present for today's proceedings, and all remaining board members are participating in person today. Member Engelmann?
Present.
Member Ross?
Here.
Member Zupo? Here. Vice Chair Spencer?
Here.
And for the record, Chair Schlick is absent from today's meeting. I would ask that the following individuals please identify themselves for the record. Hearing Board Counsel.
Good morning. My name is Fernando Kish. Thanks to meet everyone today.
Thank you. Air Pollution Control District staff.
Mary Moody, Program Coordinator.
Thank you. I will now swear in those that wish to provide testimony on any item on today's agenda. This includes petitioners, respondents, and APCD staff. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in the matter before this hearing board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Vice Chair Spencer?
Okay, we'll now move to non-agenda public communication. This is an opportunity for members of the public to speak to the board on any subject matter within the board's jurisdiction, but not an item on the agenda. Madam Clerk, are there any members of the public that wish to address the board on this item today?
Thank you, Vice Chair Spencer. We have received no request from members of the public requesting to address the board today on administrative item A. However, if there are any members of the public present virtually, please press *9 now. I don't see any members of the public wishing to provide testimony on today's administrative item A.
Okay, we will now move to the approval of the November 6, 2025 San Diego County Air Pollution Control District Hearing Board Statement of Proceedings / Minutes. Before we proceed, Madam Clerk, have we received any requests from members of the public that wish to address the board today on administrative item B?
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. We have received no requests from members of the public wishing to address the board on admin item B. However, if there are any members of the public online now wishing to participate, please press *9 or the raise hand function at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Seeing no hands raised, Dr. Spencer, there are no members of the public wishing to provide testimony on.
And we will proceed with comments from district staff and board members, then members of the public for comment. Chance to review the minutes. Anybody have any concerns or issues?
No.
No. Members of the board? No. Okay. Madam Clerk, please proceed to call public speakers.
There are no public speakers for admin item B today, Dr. Spencer.
Right. Then I'll ask, is there a motion for approval?
I so move.
Okay. And is there a? All right, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. Member Engelmann?
Aye.
Member Ross?
Aye.
Member Zupo?
Aye.
Vice Chair Spencer?
Aye.
For the record, Chair Schlick is absent from today's meeting, and that motion passes with all members present voting aye.
Okay, we'll now move on to a selection of chair and vice chair for 2026. Before we proceed, Madam Clerk, have you received any requests from members of the public that wish to address the board today on administrative item C?
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. We have received no requests from members of the public. However, if there are any members of the public online wishing to participate for administrative item C, please press the *9 or the raise hand function at the bottom of your Zoom screen. And seeing no hands raised, there are no members present wishing to provide testimony on admin item C.
All right, well, we will now proceed with comments from district staff and board members, and then all members will get your comment. And my first question is without Chair Schlick here today, do we want to go ahead and vote on this, or do we want to continue this to a future meeting and decide once Chair Schlick and all members are present? My understanding is that she's from the board that she would accept the nomination, that she would accept the nomination for to continue another year as chair. So whatever that's worth, maybe we should have a discussion before.
I'm not inclined to continue the meeting. I feel unless we had actual hearings to do, it's just additional work for everybody to come down here.
Okay.
So I think it makes sense for us to proceed unless there's some procedural reason we can't.
You can nominate the officers today and vote, and those nominations and vote would be effective. And whether the person is present or not, would have an opportunity then to accept the nomination and or not accept it. You can also postpone the meeting, adjourn it, and table it for the next available meeting. And so that those are your two options in terms of how to handle the issue today.
I agree. I would love just to continue with it. Because it is a lot of work just to drive down here for little things. So, which I'm happy to be here, but
Yeah.
like to have more of an agenda.
Right.
I get that. I mean, I'm good either way. So it's, I understand since we're here, we might as well do the work unless there's a defined reason not to. So in my mind, I'm good with continuing with selection of chair and vice chair. Any other thoughts from anybody else?
Going,
Just for clarity, when you say continue, you mean going forward with?
Proceed.
Yes, to proceed with the selection. Okay, sorry. Thank you for
Yeah, no problem.
my language. So,
on the topic of like which chair and vice chair, I'm assuming that's open for discussion.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
My
So-
first point was going to be to discuss whether we want to vote on this, and
Yeah.
then to proceed with voting for chair and then vote
Okay.
for vice chair.
So having I think exactly 0 hearings for the entire last year. I feel like the chair and vice chair continuing the roles would probably make the most sense for a couple of reasons. One is, I think, Vice Chair Spencer, were you nominated at the beginning of last year or was it 2 years ago?
It was 2 years
It
ago.
was 2 years ago. I was going to say, we haven't had much of a chance for you to chair any hearings yet. I mean, you've done a
I
couple,
think
but
it's like one or two.
one,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that the new members may have aspirations to be chair or vice chair, but it may make more sense for them to have some experience with actual hearings before we put them in that role. That's my personal opinion.
I agree.
That works. Okay. So I'll ask this more formally. Is there anybody who is interested other than Chair Schlick in becoming chair?
No. I mean,
So
I
you
would
see
be willing to
nobody-
sit in either seat if it was needed, but
Yeah.
I think with the existing chair and vice chair willing, that I would prefer to continue with that same slate.
Okay. And then for vice chair, any other thoughts or considerations? I'm happy to do it.
I would say I would, in the future, be open, but I would first like to experience actual hearing. I went to one, but it was minor, so I would like to just learn and watch.
Okay. So I guess I should say we open the floor for nominations, but it sounds like we have a nomination for chair and for vice chair. So are there any other nominations?
If we could just clarify the nominating members.
Yeah, that was.
I formally nominate Chair Schlick to continue as chair and Vice Chair Spencer to continue as vice chair.
My second.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right. Okay, so there is a nomination by member Engelmann for member Schlick as 2026 chair, seconded by member Zupo.
And for the record, current chair Schlick has provided communication to the clerk of the board's office that she would accept nomination. I'm just stating that on record in her absence.
Okay, so there's a nomination by member Engelmann for member Schlick as 2026 chair, seconded by member Zupo. A member Schlick has accepted. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Just one point of clarification, when voting, you can vote as a slate or individually. It doesn't seem like there's any question here, but
Okay.
just keep in mind that for purposes of voting, you can do that if you want.
Okay, all right, well then, since I have been nominated, I'll accept it. So, do we wish to vote as a slate? Wish to vote
I have no problem voting the slate.
Either.
Same. Okay, so then let's vote as a slate then, so So we have nominations for member Schlick to serve as chair for 2026 and for myself to serve as vice chair for 2026. These were nominated by member Engelmann, seconded by member Zupo. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. Member Engelmann,
Aye.
member Ross.
Aye.
Member Zupo,
I,
Vice Chair Spencer.
Aye.
With the exception of Chair Schlick, who is not present for today's meeting, that motion passes with all members present voting aye. And just to clarify the motion, it was a nomination by member Engelmann, seconded by member Zupo for chair or for 2026 chair for current chair Schlick, and the same nominating members for 2026 vice chair for member Spencer.
All right. Well, there's nothing else. Thank you, everyone. There are no petitions before the board today, so this concludes the hearing board business for the regular meeting of January 8th, 2026. The next regular meeting of the SDAPCD hearing board will take place January 22nd, 2026 at 9:30 a.m.
That is right. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.